Hi, my name is Dan, and this is my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. This is part 2 of the trilogy that I've been promising. I've been waiting on a deck, you guys know, for a particular deck to come in so that I could do this second part of the trilogy. So part 1 has been posted for a while. That was what and where are our keys for success. Now, if you've noticed, on each of these piles, we have a key. So in the first part of the trilogy, we were looking for our keys, right? What and where are our keys for success? So now that we have our keys, which are here, we have 4 different piles to choose from. So each key in each pile would represent, or the intention as I shuffled these cards was to ask the question, where and how do we use these keys, right? So now that we know what our keys for success are, or where they are, where they lie within us, how and where do we use them is the next question. Like, where do we apply them in our life? So that's the subject matter of today. There's 4 piles here, as you can see, and each one has a different meaning. If you, I'm assuming it has a different meaning. Each key will represent a different area where you would need to, where you would want to like explore and possibly search out success. Now, I'm going to just show you the keys really quick. This is key number 1. Key number 2. Key number 3. And key number 4. So, you guys can take a moment, take a deep breath, and choose which pile or key resonates most with you or draws your attention. Ideally, if you pick more than one key, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. That's certainly acceptable. I allowed you guys to choose more than one in the first part of the trilogy. I think I told you you could do that. So if more than one key interests you, you're more than welcome to do that. Some of us are multifaceted beings and have many different areas where we can apply and open up doors of success, or open up the doors to success in our lives. So if more than one draws your attention, that's certainly acceptable. But if you have one particular pile or key that really is calling you, that would be your group. I am going to start with pile number 1. Please look for the timestamps, and if you like this video or you like the trilogy, please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all of that stuff, so that you're notified when part 3 comes up. I forgot, maybe get some better light. Okay, so I'm going to start now with pile 1. Okay. So pile number 1, you guys chose this key. This key to me is an interesting key because it is a key that I found in Mexico, and this key is like old and rusty. Not that that makes a big difference, but the way that I see this key is that, to me, as I was shuffling and I was looking at the keys and kind of taking them into account, there was this impression that I got with this key. And this key is that these people are more traditional. They're sort of the older way, the older school of thought. I think people in this group are going to be a little bit more strong-willed, strong-minded, a little bit more stern, or have a little bit more rules that they follow. Things need to be a certain set way, if that makes sense. I also feel like these might be a group of older souls, those that chose this key, just because it is so old and rusty. I'm not exactly sure where this key belongs, but it came all the way from Mexico. So those of you may be travelers, but I just think that that is the significance of this key for this group. Now, I pulled 3 tarot cards, so let's look at those. We're going to look at those first. So the first card you have is the 8 of Cups. The second card you have is the Ace of Swords. And the third tarot card you have is the Three of Pentacles. So you guys are definitely a more, to me, an intellectual bunch, I feel like. I feel like even in your emotional self, let me get my pointer one moment. I feel like, first off, with this Eight of Cups, we have this man in contemplation. He's contemplating the moon and he's looking through the hills and valleys and the struggles of what he needs to do or how he needs to go about getting there. And I feel like you guys, because this key is the old key from Mexico, the rusty old key from Mexico, I feel like you guys have been through a lot already, this group, and you're willing to take on any sort of fight. You've been on a long journey already, you know what hard work is, you're not afraid of hard work, and you're definitely in touch with your intuition. I feel like you guys, this group, will work hard towards any goal and not give up. You're sort of relentless, similar to this rusty key. Like you'll outlast time if you have to. You'll fight it, you'll sit down, and even emotionally, yes, you get beleaguered, yes, you get tired, but you're gonna work hard and push forward and achieve your goals no matter what. That's sort of what the feeling of is with me for this as far as your emotional card. Now, you have the Ace of Swords here, which to me this feels like victory in the sense of like divine thought, inspired thought, not taking no for an answer, really just owning whatever it is that you want and going after it. Really, again, the word relentless comes to my mind. So if we're asking the question, what or where do we utilize our keys? I feel like our strength here for this group would be in the mental realm. You do have strength here in the emotional realm too, because you can tap in intuitively, you can rest yourself in your emotions and sort of look at the road ahead. But when you're really thinking about it and you're really pushing forward in your thought, you're inspired and you're willing to fight for it. There's a definite fight in this group that is like, does not want to give up. The Three of Pentacles represents that you guys in this group work well with others, but I feel like you would be, the majority of you would be this person in the center, the one that's holding the plans or the paper. You need to be in control. You need to be sort of directing your plan. You may need the assistance of others around you, and that is fine, but you will be the final say. You will be the one that will sort of guide in the success. The Three of Pentacles, to me, this is the success coming in. It does feel divinely inspired with this this sort of winged head here. I feel like this to me is spirit coming in, so there is some spiritual connection. There's also spiritual connection here, but really your strong suit, or where you find your strength, and how, like we're asking how and where do we utilize these keys for success, is in our mind, in the power of our mind, in our will. This is a strong-willed, long-haul group of people that is willing to put in all of the energy and all of the effort. You are willing to work in a team, but I feel like you need to be in charge of that team or oversee that team to bring in that success. Now, the next card that I pulled was from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, just to kind of see what chakra we're working from, or where. Hold on, let me close this because these cards are a little bit smaller than the doors here. Hold on, sorry. Than the little holders. So the card that you guys get is Perseverance, which is interesting because I feel like that's a lot of what this is this sword is fighting. This Eight of Cups is looking to looking at the long haul, looking at the road ahead, not being intimidated by it, willing to put in the fight, willing to sort of direct the troops, so to speak. And this Perseverance card, this is the second chakra. This is the sacral chakra, I believe, which is kind of where your reproductive organs are, where we create from. There's a lot of energy and fire here. It's I believe it's actually a water-ruled chakra. So, but the energy is orange and fiery in this card. This makes me feel, and again, she looks spirit-driven, like in the sense that even though she's persevered, sometimes we get tired, similar to this Eight of Cups card, but we stop, we take that time to reflect. Here she's stopping, or people in this group, sometimes you persevere and you push hard, but sometimes you have to sort of let go and rest. And this to me looks like a spirit sort of coming in, or a spirit guide, a guardian angel, whatever you want to call it, coming in to sort of soothe us. So every so often I feel like this group definitely needs to connect with spirit to be successful. So if we're looking at how we use the keys that we've now found, those of you, depending on what you chose in the last pick a card, your mind is key here. Your mind is the most important, with a secondary of checking in emotionally and intuitively and allowing yourself to be strong and persevere, but also connecting for that spiritual soothing that can happen, that I see happening in this card. The next two cards are from the Vibrational Energy Oracle cards, and this just shows me a little bit about your vibration. So this card is driving forces, which to me speaks in line with perseverance. It's all about having that singular goal, setting your mind to it, which is here in the Ace of Swords, being very direct about it and going after it, going down that road, not being intimidated. Look, there's a long path here. We have a long path here. This group is not for the weak-minded or the weak-hearted. You guys are in it to win it. It feels to me like you guys are dedicated and fully involved, so much so that you might run the chance of sometimes burning out, focusing on your second chakra and caring for that while you're doing this work to attain this success. The need to be in control, it does all sort of fall on you. This orange dot here also makes me think of this orange chakra, the second chakra, but it feels like we use this power to create from, to get ourselves down the road. And it's a very transformative experience for us when we are able to create what it is we're after, and like zoom in on the goal and not accept no for an answer. Sven, don't pull it. Sven, no. Sorry, my cat's trying to get in the box of tarot cards. So to me, again, this speaks to perseverance. This speaks to the strength of mind, or the clarity of mind with this Ace of Swords. This group, you guys are determined. Determination is a very strong word for this group. And then the other vibrational energy card for you is Snowflakes. This is a new card to me. I've not seen this card before. Let's see here. So snowflakes to me, as I'm looking at this, I don't know the meaning because I'm not looking at the book, but what I'm going to say for me intuitively, what I'm hearing and what I'm getting from my guides, is this is also about crystal clear thought. But this is the melding, the vibrational energy, how to find our success, right? Where do we apply our success? Where do we use this key to find our success? This is in meditation. This is in finding that clarity of thought. This snowflake is similar to sort of the clarity of mind here. It's almost like this to me is the blending of the Eight of Cups card and the Ace of Swords card. When these two come together, we get snowflakes. We get the clarity of mind, the peace, the solitude, where we can even have that rest that we see here in perseverance. When we've worked hard, we also need to remember to take that break, to check in with ourselves and to sort of allow ourselves that space to get that clarity that we need, so that we are sure that the goal that we want or the success that we want to achieve, we're sure and we're clear that we're on that path and nothing will impede us. And nothing will with this group. You guys are like this rusty old key. You ain't giving up. You're in it like for the long haul. But to do that and to regenerate, you need to tap into your spiritual side, your emotional side, and go inward and bring clarity to those areas of your life, and also the mind. And with that clarity, That's what helps with all of this to move forward, to make you a good leader, to make you able to create the success and abundance that you seek. Now, the last card is from the Divine Doors deck, and this is the deck that I was waiting for. It's a mini card deck all about doorways, and because the theme of this was, now that we have our keys, where do we use them or how do we use them? I wanted to have this deck involved because it's about, key in a door and opening the door, walking through it. So this is your guys' card. I'll just show you the art. And the first thing that comes to mind is when I'm talking about snowflakes over here and this melding of both the spiritual and the mental. If you see that, like where I'm saying he's like contemplating the moon in his emotional self, and the moon representing intuition, blending that with the Ace of Swords, which is such a strong, strong mental card. When we take that and we blend it here and have this snowflakes where we get the clarity and beauty of the snowflake, that's what this card represents. There's a Buddha or a monk walking through this old doorway. And again, the doorway is ancient, similar to this key. So it says to me that you guys are probably older souls. You've been around for a while, a little set in your ways maybe, or you understand how things work. But again, this is about a strong door, a strong foundation, and a spiritual being sort of coming together. Does that make sense? Are you seeing the parallels? I hope you are, because I certainly am. The message on the back is Divine Guardian. Do not be nervous today or tonight. The path you are on will lead you just right. So we see two different paths here. We see spirit here in many different areas. And I think that you guys, not only are you spiritually, if you meld the mental with the spiritual and emotional self through meditation and through perseverance, through determination, this is how you apply your keys to success and how you attain your success. My only warning for this group would be, remember to take those breaks. Don't burn out your second chakra. Try not to burn out your lowest chakras in such a pursuit, because your pursuit is strong. And remember that you have this Divine Guardian card. You will be brought through. Remember to bring the spirit in. I also love that this orange card matches the orange of the monk's robe. I just see that in the orange dot here. So you guys, I think that is your read for today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm now going to move on to group 2. Okay. So now we have group 2. Group 2, this is your key. Each key had sort of a different symbolism as I was doing the shuffling for the cards. I was saying this with group 1's video. So this key, what I was figuring out for this group is, you guys are the romantics. You guys are the ones that like to live a little bit larger than life. This is the biggest key of the 4 keys, and I feel like this one is the most sort of like, not outrageous, but ornate, and like you splurge a little bit. You guys are indulgent. I feel like this group is going to be the group that sort of maybe lives more in the present moment and romantically than say the other groups. Like the group previous to you was a little bit more, I would say, like solid or stayed in their ways or their key choice. This key choice to me says that you guys tend to be a little bit more of the sensory type. Like you want to feel and you want to be romanced and all of that, okay? And maybe you're a little bit ostentatious, but in a good way. Like what's the word? Like boisterous. You guys maybe attract a fair amount of attention, but in a good way. So now let's look at your cards. So first I have 3 tarot cards. Your first card is the 4 of Wands. Your second card is the Page of Swords. And your third card is the 3 of Swords. Okay, I'm going to start here with just these cards. First off, the Four of Wands says to me, I mean, we're looking at where do we use these keys now that we have them? Where do we place our attributes, whatever our attributes were that we found in the first pick a card, where do we best utilize them? What part of our life do those attributes work best? I feel like right out of the gate, this feels like a home, family, love relationships. When we pour our energies into those things, that's where the most success is going to come from. This Three of Swords, though, generally as a rule represents heartache. But to me, this feels like you guys, when I'm looking at this from a from this reading standpoint and from this sort of pick a card, what the general gist is this heart is so big, it speaks to the romance that I was seeing with this key. You guys think with your heart, wear your heart on your sleeves. You guys may tend to get hurt a little bit easier or tend to be a little bit more sensitive, but that's okay. That also reflects a little bit in the Page of Swords, in the sense that intellect is important to you guys, but to me it feels more like it's secondary to what you feel emotionally or in your heart. This heart to me is the biggest thing that I'm seeing out of the three of these. And even though this is a sword, it's a Three of Swords. So like intellectually it feels like you're learning a lot around the heart, around relationships, around the home. This home here in the Four of Wands also makes me think of home. This Four of Wands also makes me think of stability. You guys might be very good at creating stability both in your lives and in the lives of others. The fruit that's hanging here above also makes me think that when you're providing stability either for yourselves or for others, you feel better about yourself. Your thoughts are better about yourselves. You're joyous. It's funny to me that this Page of Swords is staring down at this home, like looking at it as if saying to me, yes, home and family, friends, relationships, nurturing those things are really where we feel our most successful because we are so heart-driven, right? Now, that's not to say that sometimes we don't get hurt. These swords going through the heart say to me that sometimes maybe things backfire for this group, or we feel as though we're maybe not making as much traction or ground as we think we are because of the insults or the invalidations that we've suffered. But this is a group of people that you guys, you wear your heart on your sleeves. You're a very special sort of loving group that the world needs. And so your success, or where your success is best applied, is in say realms of the home, realms of relationships, both romantic, friendships, even work relationships. I think that if you guys work from your heart and from a place of fearlessness, from a place of, it doesn't matter if, I'm not saying it doesn't matter, but you have to live from a place of bravery. Like you trust your heart almost over your mind is what I feel like. Even though you've maybe had experiences in the past where you've been hurt. The next card is from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. This tells me a little bit about what chakra you guys might be working from. So this is the base chakra, or the first chakra, and this is discovery. The first thing that pops out to me is this heart. Again, and we have this spirit or this angel happening in the background, the flower representing growth and the moon representing intuition to me. And the earth here represents as grounding. And so what I feel like is when we are in our heart and we are grounded, if we are able to ground our heart energy or the work that we do through our heart into our first chakra, right? Or we ground in who we are and our heart and our love, and we discover the strength that can come from that. Like we almost grow spiritually. That's what this sort of guide in the background says to me. Is that for this group, when you guys really ground in this love, in this heart-centered love, and really focus on the home, being stable for yourself and for those around you, providing sustenance and love and joy, and being smart about it. You may not be, like, I feel like you might be slightly naive because this is a page card, but it's okay. That naiveness keeps that heart open. And if you get hurt from time to time, don't let that hurt stop you from living from this space. Because as you discover, the more that you live from this space, and also, how do I want to put this? Like, it feels to me like you need to live from your heart yet ground from that space, it's going to help you grow spiritually, and it's going to help you understand better what, like, it's going to help you to become more successful in life. Does that make sense? The next two cards are from the vibrational energy oracle cards. So the first one you have is knowing. This to me is similar to what I feel like is in this discovery card. When we ground in who we are, when we ground and trust our heart. It's funny because you have these swords cards here, which would represent mental, like the mental realm or the air realm. But to me, this heart is screaming about emotions and living from the heart, this Three of Swords. Even though it's normally not really the best card in traditional tarot, my intuition is telling me that when we live from this place of knowing, similar to this discovery card, when we can ground in our heart-centeredness and really own it and know it, we are able to, it's like we're safe. There's a light, there's a clarity, there is an awareness that emanates out from us, from the center of our head, from our pineal gland, from our higher chakras, that sort of is sent out into the universe. And from that comes, oh, hold on, my cat has a wasp. Don't get stung, hold on. Hey, kitty. Oh my God, don't get stung, please. How did you get that? Sorry, guys, this is crazy. So when you come from this place of knowing, I gotta clean that up. Thanks for pointing that out, bud. Good job in catching that wasp. I don't know how the hell I got in the house, but thank you. All right, when we come from this place of knowing, again, it's like, I almost think that when we ground in that heart-centered energy, we will be able to know who we are better. And from that, we are able to emanate that light out into the world. And that's the light that this world needs right now, is more heart-centered energy. That's what creates success for you in this world. Your next vibrational energy card is Upon a Star. So this is a beautiful card. Let me just show you this card. I love this card. This is like when you wish upon a star, dreams come true. When this group trusts your heart, and when you are able to trust your heart and live from it, it's like this, look at this beautiful explosion of like bright light. You know, it's like you guys get to emanate that beauty and that light, that like that wishes and dreams come true from your heart out into the world. So you really need to know who you are and that you're safe and love from that place in this world. The world needs your love right now. I mean, certainly we need this love. Now, this is the deck that I was waiting for to do this pick a card. This is from the Divine Doors deck, and this is your card here. And the first thing that this makes me think of is it's a very old door here. So you guys, even though you're romantics or you're more heart-centered, I feel like there's old knowledge here. I mean, this is a very old door. And there's a meditating Buddha on the other side of this door. So there's a peace and a tranquility that sits on the other side of this door. So if we use our key to go through this door, there's peace and tranquility on the other side. So let's see what the message is. Offerings. Abundance lies in the heart that allows. Share more than expected and see love come around. So to me, guys, it feels like, it feels like when you offer your heart out to the world and you're vulnerable, or you utilize that that part of you that is so loving and dear and caring, you bring back that abundance to yourself. That's where your success is. That's how you best apply your keys to success. Those are the areas where you would best utilize them and watch them come back in forms of abundance, not only for you, but I also think for others. I see a lot of energy emanating out here and here. It feels like you guys would be spreading that out and affecting those around you, and thus bringing that back, but it also heals others. So there's a fair amount of healing going on, or healers in this group. Those of you that maybe either know it or don't know it, but I think that you guys have the capacity to heal others just by being in your truth and living from your heart. All right, I'm going to leave you with that. I hope that resonated. If it did, please give it a like, share, comment, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you guys in part 3 of this pick a card. All right, let's go to group 3. Okay, so this is group 3's key. Now group 3, this key is the newest key to me. This is the key to my charm box. And I was meditating on, as I was doing the shuffling of the cards, and I realized each key had a different meaning for each group. So this group, I'm going to predict, you guys believe in magic. You guys believe in sort of the luck of life, the ability to sort of make things happen either through manifestation, through metaphysical, you guys believe in metaphysical stuff. I would tend to believe that you guys are a little bit more, I don't know, just open to the universe and manifestation, the idea of magic being real, daydreamers, that sort of a thing, okay? So let's leave our key here. I started with 3 tarot cards. So your first card is the 7 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the Artist. Okay. So, when I said that you guys believe in magic or daydreams, I do believe that. These cards here to me say a couple different things. The Artist here is definitely that daydreamer. I feel like this group does get to see to the other side. If you look here, he's got winged feet and he's peeking through the veil to the other side, maybe to the spirit realm, or maybe this is spirits peeking through to us in our life in this group, right? But we have that connection to spirit, and we are creative types, we are artist types. This is where we want to apply our keys to success. We want to use them in this area of our life. The thing here is with this 8 of Swords, she feels like she's not always seeing everything. And those swords that are around her, she's not necessarily able to always, maybe you guys are a bit naive. Be careful of that. You might be a little bit tortured by your own thoughts, thinking that you're not really allowed to be as creative as you may want to be. That I feel like when I look at the 7 of Pentacles, you guys are hard workers and you tell yourselves you need to work hard to be successful. But I think that with this Artist card, I really believe that your success lies in dreaming. And if you dream, because she also looks like she's sort of asleep, but she is penned in by these swords, right? And she is tied up, but to me, it appears as though she's loosely tied. And any one of these swords could cut her free. So any one of our, it makes me think of somehow our thoughts could free us if we learn to believe in them and trust them in this group, right? We have the ability to work hard to create the abundance that we want, or the money that we want, or the success that we want, but I don't think we have to work as hard because he's resting here, right? He has worked hard. He's got it all here in front of him, but he's taking a rest. So I think the thing is you guys need to sort of come to the understanding and the awareness that whatever is holding you back, whatever is telling you not to dream, or that's just a daydream, don't do it, is a lie. It's a blindfold. It's holding you back. It's tying you up, and you need to be free of those ideas or those thoughts. When you free yourself, you then open up the energy of this Artist where you can see through to the other side. You can use that imagination, use those daydreams to create actual viable ideas that could be successful for you, but you need to like sort of release your own mind, if that makes sense. Now, the next card that I have here is from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. This is insecurity. This is the root chakra because it's in red. And this is, look at the little devil. He's like reaching over and going, are you sure you want to do that? And that's totally this card. And to me, we have this heart here. Like we want to live from the heart. We want to live from this creative sort of magical space. But like the little demons inside our mind or inside society's beliefs or whatever, wherever we've learned not to trust ourselves and to limit ourselves, creep up and tap us on the hip and go, are you sure you want to do that? It's like, fuck yeah, I want to do that. But you need to not let that insecurity eat at you. So in meditation, I would concentrate on your first chakra, knowing that you're safe, knowing that you are stable, knowing that you are capable, knowing that this artist card here, which is a major arcana card in this deck, it's different than other decks because it has 2x. This deck has 2 extra major arcanas, and this is one of them. This artist card says to me that you guys have skills to see to the other side. You guys have skills to look at a situation from a perspective that not many other people do, but sometimes you shut that off because other people don't look at things the way you do in this group. They don't see things quite through the same eyes as you. So you've sort of maybe taken time to stop looking at things in that manner. Maybe because you've been told, oh, that's just inappropriate thinking, or that's not going to work, and you've believed it. You've believed those little devils or those demons. But the thing is for whatever reason, whether they didn't understand you, or maybe they didn't trust you, or maybe they were envious of you in the way you saw things. But those people that told you you were looking at it wrong or couldn't achieve it were lying. This Seven of Pentacles says that you can achieve it. You have the hard work and the strength to do it, but you have to have the belief in yourself, right? So be aware of your insecurity and where it's at and deal with it. Like fix it or don't let it in. Tell it like, not today, Satan. Now, your cards from the Vibrational Energy Oracle. You have Huntsman. Interesting. This makes me think of the red in the first chakra. This is a card about taking aim and going after it, don't take no for an answer, like picking your destination and shooting towards it. And to me, it looks like a clean shot. You can't miss it. The target is right there. This here is this energy of, oh, I can't see, I don't know, that's not going to work. I've been told a million times it's not going to work. What you need to counterbalance this is sort of the energy of this huntsman. You need to trust yourself. You need to not be in insecurity. You need to get into security and act as if you are the huntsman, basically, that you see the goal and you can aim and achieve the goal, shoot the goal, nail it the first time out. And you can, even if you are a daydreamer, even if you do dream, remember your dreams can be made reality. He's looking through to the other side, like almost creating them as we speak. And you have the hard work ethic. You know how to work. So taking those two, the ability to dream and the ability to work, and letting go of those self-limiting thoughts almost enables you to be like to me, I'm looking at this, it's almost like Cupid's arrow, like boom, and shoot right for it. And this is also, it's tying into the first chakra, like do first chakra work, ground in who you are. The last card that you have for the Vibrational Energy deck is Abundant Blessings. I love this. I love that this side is sort of green in tone. But Abundant Blessings is like, we know it here. We are aware of it. We've meditated on it. We've centered ourselves in it. We know who we are. We are the artist. And as we imagine it, as we dream it, just like he is here, we can create it right here. You see that this chakra here, her third eye chakra, her sixth chakra, is got a mandala in front of it, but it's got that same green shade. And she's sort of, to me, it looks like she's imagining it, and then it's becoming real right in front of her. And these are the abundant blessings that when we trust ourselves and we don't give in to insecurity, and when we look at our goal and we go after it like the huntsman with no no remorse and no chance of failure, we can have those abundant blessings and create them through our dreams. Now, this was the deck that I was waiting for to do this second pick a card. So this is from the Divine Doors deck, and this is your doorway, and it's in a kind of interesting picture. It's sort of a decrepit building, like it's abandoned in some ways, and the doorway is a little bit far off, but there's a lot of like signs of age and wear here. So to me, the light is on the other side, and I feel like that is this card, this Eight of Swords. It's like the light is through the detritus of the mind. We need to like clean up the garbage of our mind, which is all of these swords behind her, and walk through the door into the light, which is these abundant blessings. But let's see what the message is. Walkabout. You discover your path in sacred walkabout. The trees are your people, the earth is your tribe. In indigenous lessons, you find the will to survive. So I think that this is about like trusting yourself, moving forward into your light, cleaning it up, doing a walkabout. But I mean a walkabout more internally, like mentally, through touching base with yourself, both at your grounding, your first chakra. Also, maybe I would look into your sixth chakra and your knowing, your seventh chakra, and allow yourself to be the dreamer that you are. Embrace that, and don't let insecurity take that from you. Don't let that emotion sneak in or the mental thoughts sneak in. Remember, some of these thoughts that sort of pen you in can actually be the very same thoughts that can set you free. And once you're set free, you're the artist and you're able to create. And when you create from that place, there's this beauty and there's this ability to create abundant blessings for yourself. So that is your guys' group number 3's reading on how to apply your keys to success or where to utilize them best in your life. I'm gonna take those down. If you like this video, please like, share, comment, subscribe. And I will now do group 4. Okay, hi group 4. So this is the last key. Now this is the smallest key, and each key had its own little story. As I was shuffling, I realized that each key represented a different qualities for the group. So I'm gonna say what this key represents. This key is a little bit ornate. You guys, I feel like, are not necessarily in big need of attention. It's the smallest key of the 4. But it feels like it's a well-established key, like it knows who it is. That's why it doesn't necessarily need all of the attention, or doesn't need validation or approval in some sense. Similar to like the age on key number 1, it doesn't feel as old as key number 1, but it feels like this group, you guys sort of maybe are solo or spend more time alone, don't need necessarily validation from the outside world or others. You kind of are clear and know who you are and know your capabilities and your attributes, and you appreciate them, but you don't like overblow them or force people to listen to you. If they want to, great. If they don't, that's fine too. That's the attitude I get from this key. You're lost, basically. So there's, you're lost if they don't listen to you is what I mean. But first off, you have 3 tarot cards that I've pulled. The first one is the Fool. The second is the 10 of Cups. And the third is the Moon. Interesting. So the Moon is Pisces energy. And the 10 of Cups is definitely success. And it's also like romantic success. The Fool to me is also the idea that you guys kind of do spend... The Moon feels very solitary and alone. And I love that you guys have 2 major arcana. That didn't happen in any of the groups. You guys have like sort of the headiest energy as far as the tarot cards go. With the Fool, it's like you guys kind of don't know. This is what I meant about this small key, is like you're very self-assured in who you are. The Fool sort of jumps off and starts off a journey without necessarily any abandon or worry. You guys know your own worth or what you're capable of. I don't think that there's anything to be afraid of here. The sun is dawning. He's got his companion. I would imagine that you guys probably, like I said, you travel solo. Maybe some of you are animal lovers and all you have around you are animals, but he's here. This Ten of Cups to me, yes, there is romance and connection here, but this to me just feels like abundance. I think where you guys would best be successful is in finding romance. The thing is you're more comfortable alone. Like even the moon is facing this way and the Fool is facing this way. But yet in the middle here with the Ten of Cups, with the most abundance here, it's this couple kind of coming together. They're bringing together these two components of ourselves together as one so that we're able to have the relationship or the romantic relationship that we want. Now this small key doesn't feel like it needs validation or it needs that sort of thing, but I think that it might benefit from that. Like it might feel most successful from that. Does that make sense? Like starting the journey of maybe a romantic, like a significantly romantic relationship, or investing into relationships and learning from them how to appreciate yourself a little bit. Not that you don't appreciate yourself, I feel like you do with this key, but to now allow another to appreciate yourself. There's a level of vulnerability there that I think maybe you guys aren't aware of. And actually, now that I look at it, she's holding a baby right here. She's looking at a baby, and so is he. So I'm not saying that any of this group is going to get knocked up or pregnant, but to me, this is about relations. This is about like bonded relationships between him and her, and then them and the baby. This is about the abundance of that. The family and the rainbow here in the background, the tree signifying growth. There's a lot of opportunity here for you if you explore those things. Now, with this moon card, it feels like you guys are highly intuitive and highly aware. You listen to you have strong inner voice, and that's great. I think that that works for you, but I also think that sometimes you guys can get caught in your own minds or in your own heads or in your own beliefs. And because you're so intuitive and intelligent, you might be able to convince yourself otherwise as to whether or not you necessarily need relationships to survive. You don't really, but I think that we're looking at how to sort of where and how to like find our success. This is where I think this group lies, is in really deep connected relationships, exploring that this time around. Maybe in this lifetime you haven't felt very connected to people. So I think that the abundance lies in the bringing together of these two abilities within oneself to then experience that sort of, to allow another to appreciate that and to allow ourselves to be seen as we really are and appreciated from an outside source. Does that make sense? Now, the next card is from the Chakra Wisdom Oracle. This is Impasse. This is the second chakra. Again, this is the orange card, and Impasse, he looks like he's blocking at the second chakra. And it's funny because I'm talking about this group needing to find success in relationships to really grow and experience abundance. And here, the second chakra is about sort of, it's a water-based chakra, but it's also about connection to others, sexual connection, connecting to people in that way. And he's standing in the way. And I feel like he's sort of a thief. Like he's got this long cloak and he's like, nope, you can't go any further. You guys are guarded. Like there's this part of you that you're so intuitive, or you're so sort of like on your own, like maybe lone wolves even, that you're quite comfortable with not letting people in. I think that you need to let people in. I think you need to remove him from your third chakra, or your second chakra, I'm sorry. And also this forest in the background says to me that there's a lot of work that needs to be done for this group in the second chakra, like in meditation. I think that there's an impasse happening there that if you clear it out or do something, do some work on it and get comfortable with the idea of that and connecting to people on that level, from that romantic level or from that place of love, that would be more fourth chakra. But if you do that sort of work in the third, it may open you up to being able to utilize your fourth and connect with people in a much more impactful and strong way. So the next cards are the vibrational energy oracle cards. Let's see what you got. Heal thyself. This, guys, this has to do with this impasse. I'm telling you, there is some work that needs to be done. This forest and this man blocking everything in your second chakra says to me that there's some work that needs to be done. There's some blooming that needs to happen. There's some meditation that needs to happen. There's some introspect, like you guys do introspect, but you introspect alone, and that's great, and you have that intuitive knowledge, but you do long. I see her longing for connection. And so you keep yourselves busy, like with this Fool card of just trucking through life. Maybe you have your pets to take care of you. But I think that as you need to heal thyself, this group to best utilize, where you will find the best amount of success is in working on this second chakra, maybe even your third chakra up to your fourth, in finding out what it is that you need to do to allow yourself to truly connect to people on a much deeper level. Allow yourself to be seen. The moon is very hidden and secretive. It's like sort of the shadow side of ourselves. Allow ourselves to be seen and heal ourselves from that place. That will heal us, or those of us in this group. And then the last one is hopeless release. And this to me is, again, it says hopeless release, right? But I love that it's this hand dropping down like sort of knowledge into the water, right? To me, it's like the releasing of this blockage, this not allowing people in, this not allowing ourselves to get too close or be seen. If we like let go of it, like with a hopeless abandon, like really let go of it and just drop ourselves down into the water, we're gonna find that we're actually more alike than we are different. I think that we need to do this healing work for ourselves in this group so that we can have that success. And when we let that go, like look at the light emanating from the letting go of that. It's like we let that go and we become one with the like sort of the world around us, the people around us, our relationships. That's when we're going to feel really successful, connected, and good. So I feel like if we can create that healing for ourselves and begin to release some of those walls that we have built up, we will be able to, because there is a beauty in who we are, there is a strength in who we are, and it's like we don't let everybody see every aspect in this group. Like we show them one side of ourselves or maybe another, but never the full spectrum. We're never truly vulnerable in this group, and I feel like this group sort of needs to find that vulnerability and allow people in. And when you do, that hopeless release happens and that light begins to shine from us, and we actually are more alike with others than we are different. Now, this was the deck that I was waiting for this entire time before doing this pick a card. This is from the Divine Doors deck, and so this is your guys' door, and because the theme was keys, it's like, what door do we get? So the first thing I noticed is we have this like sort of spinning flower up here, and we have this spinning flower down here, which mimics this lotus here. If you notice, I think that's interesting. And that's the heal thyself. So utilizing that small key to walk through this old ancient door, this wooden door, what is behind this door? The sacred lotus. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. So I'm going to put this card, I've been putting it in the center here, but I'm putting it over here because the key for you guys and your success is healing thyself. This hopeless release and healing thyself, letting go of this impasse and letting people in. This is your spirit's jewel. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. So I think that a compassion, all right, I'm going to read it to you one more time. Compassion in action, the chosen tool. I see now the lotus in your spirit's jewel. So this is allowing your spirit to come through. This is allowing the moon to come through, the Fool to come through, the good, the bad, the ugly, and allowing others to see it and appreciate it. No longer blocking that, healing thyself and letting the lotus bloom. Letting your true self, your true authentic self shine through. Letting go of any preconceived notions you have of it. Like hopelessly releasing it out into the world and letting it shine and be what it needs to be. And from there, people will see you. And from there, you will have success because you will understand your own beauty and The fact that you are like this sacred lotus. And maybe that's what you've been protecting, right? But you don't need to protect it. You are safe. And you can heal thyself and realize that. You guys are strong. You actually had the strongest sort of like cards with the moon and the fool and the 10 of cups, the strongest tarot cards out of everybody. But you're sort of the least believing in your strength. I feel like there's some doubt with this moon or some questioning with this moon and the fool a little bit. Like maybe people haven't always told you or believed you in who you were, and therefore you lost touch. Not lost touch with believing in who you are, because I believe that this key represents people that know themselves, but I feel like you guys lost interest in showing yourself to the world just because you had been invalidated so many times throughout your life. Well, it's time to resurface, my dears. You are our sacred lotuses. We need you in this world right now. We need you to heal thyself so that you then in turn can release that into the world, right? And teach others how to heal themselves. All right, so that is part 2 of the trilogy, me being the pick-a-card nerd that I am. This is like the Star Wars trilogy. There will be another pick-a-card that conjoins with this one and the first one. I hope you guys get something out of this. Please give me a like, share, a comment, or a subscribe. If you do subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified. Join me for the morning forecast. Check out my unboxings. All of these decks have unboxing videos on my channel. Please give those a like and comment if you'd like. And I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. I appreciate everything you've done. I am now on Instagram at Engelgeist333. Please follow me there. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the next pick-a-card. Thank you for being patient. I love you guys. And I really, really do hope that you find your source of success and abundance with ease and grace. And as soon as you need it, as soon as you want it, as soon as you can believe that you can have it. Have a great day. Bye.